Hi, I'm Randy Babst from UXstars.com, and I'm always trying to lead UXers to the best UX or user experience content online. And that is why earlier today, when I saw a post from Nielsen Norman Group about a series of online virtual conferences, I immediately forwarded that on to my connections. I was a bit surprised later on in the day when one of my connections asked me how much the conferences cost. In my head, I was wondering, didn't they just click on the link that I provided them and see the price? So I felt like maybe there was something else going on. And so I went to go ahead and investigate. But before I go there, I want to bring to your attention the Nielsen heuristics. All right? So when we look ahead at the 10 usability heuristics for user interface design, there are a couple here that I want to draw your attention to because I will refer to them in a little bit. Consistency and standards is a pretty major one. Folks want to be unique and have their own style, but at the same time, there are certain things that users expect. And so, for example, here on this page, you can see that the links are extremely obvious. Look, they are not only blue, but they are underlined. And so these definitely stand out as links. Now, of course, I realize that on the side menu, they're not underlined. However, that is, I think, understood to be a menu section. All right. Now, looking at another item here, we have flexibility and efficiency of use. Another way I might rephrase that is don't waste your users' time. All right. So going back to this post, I would say that I do like a convention that is sometimes used, and it's called jobs to do. And I would say that the job to do in this particular case is to find out, is the conference affordable for me? All right. So let's go ahead and take a look and see how well this experience leads us to that answer. I can see that there is this post, and when I go ahead, the page loads, and I do scan through this whole page here, and I don't see anything at all about price. Um, Even if I search the whole page, I see nothing at all about price. And so immediately, as a user who's looking for this, I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. It's like sometimes when you go into a car dealership, and maybe they don't want to tell you the price of that car right away because they sort of want to get you interested first or something like that. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but I am wondering if this is a bit of a clash between usability and marketing. Maybe they don't want to show the price right off the bat. Maybe they want to get you interested first. It's not my favorite strategy as a user and a customer. Another thing that I do notice on this page while we're taking a look at some of these heuristics is, do you see how on the other page, when you had links like this in the sentences, they were underlined in blue? Here, they're not underlined by default. I think that that's interesting because a website like this would often be running off of a common style sheet. And so this page, is it not pointing to the same style sheet that says those links should be underlined? I think that's interesting. I can't say what behind the scenes is happening, but it's interesting that on one page they had that convention and here they don't. Further, I think it's interesting that this is, in my eyes, looking to be almost the same exact color as the links, but this is clearly not a link. Now, these are not the biggest problems with this page. Sorry, Jacob. Um, so anyway, moving along. I would say that I would like to see websites treat time zones a bit better. In a lot of cases, you can tell what time zone the user is in. Now, they might be on a VPN, and it might get tricky to know what their actual time zone is. But I would like to see websites just keep in mind, as we have so many virtual events, to do a better job of saying, oh, you are in this time zone. This is all you need to know. Now, if there is a broader set of information for some kind of organization, event planner, and they want to see everything, go for it. But I think that the average user would be like, why are you showing me every single time in the world for all these events. And there may be people who use this website differently than me. Now, I think that it's interesting. On their page here, they say, you are not the user. Sorry, I do disagree with that. I am a user. I'm just not the only one. So, as a UXer, right, I have certain insight on usability and a certain interest in if I can afford this conference. And so it is important to remember that you're not the only user, but do remember that you're a user too. And if something in your instincts says it's been too hard to find the price of this conference, that is definitely a finding. So going through here, I'm not quite sure where to go next as far as doing anything about price. Now, maybe if I go into this set of events for June, I'll see something. Okay. Now on this page, I look through everything, and I am seeing some, really good conferences that are piquing my interest that I might like to go to, but nothing is also yet doing the task that I came here to do, which is find out if this conference is affordable, right? Because why do I care about all this information about how great all these courses are if I can't afford them, right? And I think that's what a lot of people think when they go to this website is, can I afford it? And they probably want to get to that a bit earlier. I'm not saying that it wouldn't negatively impact registration if you put prices up ahead, but what is unavoidable is how the user will feel. And I think that someone who wants to find out if the conference is affordable would start to get a bit annoyed. So I do see a register for the conference. Will I luck out when I click on it that time? Okay, moving right along here. We are now on the registration page. I see that there's something about a free additional course, but yet still on this whole page. Oh, I'm starting to see dollar signs. Let's take a look. Okay, so at the bottom of this page is when we get into some of this. Okay, so here we do actually finally find the prices. So I would like to see a case where somebody a bit earlier can find out if this is the type of conference that is in your price range. I'm not saying that that they're not worthwhile. I'm just saying that certain folks may not have them in their price range, and they may look for other resources that are. And so in this case, the job to do was to find out, is this an affordable conference for me? And for the company, perhaps they do get more people to register. However, sometimes there is a bit of a conflict between the user's experience, who in this case just wants to find out if they can afford the conference as quickly as possible. So this has just been a brief look today, and looking at this website in a bit of a different way, and I'll see you next time.